rest of the motor over here. The fact that they're going to try and make me get a whole new $10,000 transmission swap just for that is why people don't trust dealerships and take it to a known shop, or you just use your brain. My biggest crime is too much trust and possibly some laziness. If you're wondering about the CVT and most side-by-sides versus the transmission in the Mav R, well, take this in consideration. Rough story on this. I'm going out of town to help Eli because he cut his finger off or something. I'm on my way there. On my way there, I dropped this car off to get that, like the premium service, like the everything rechecked. It's at 1,500 miles, the service. They give me a call. They tell me there's a leak coming from somewhere. They can't tell. They need permission to drop the skid plate. Naturally, I give them permission for that. They find it, it's a transmission. Say there's a crack in the transmission right where there's a bolt going through the transmission. I'm like, how bad is it? They're like, it's pretty bad. They told me that it was operator error. They told me there's damage to the skid plate, that a rock punctured through the skid plate and smoked the transmission. And I had a hard time kind of believing that, just given how thick the skid plate is, and that I've literally put the whole weight in the car on rocks and drug over those rocks with the front wheels. Whatever rock punctured that was gonna one hell of a rock. And then they told me how much it was, and essentially it's 10 grand to drop the old one, put the new one in. And so after I had my little flip out on that, I just kind of thought about it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna try and fix it. If it's screwed up anyways, then, you know, why not try to fix it? Like, what's the worst gonna happen? I have to go buy a new transmission. Let's just see and check out what it actually is.
That's where the hit happened. I got it pretty hard there. It didn't break all the way through though, it just dented it. What really screwed up is there's a hole right here. It's conveniently right underneath the most fragile part of the car. Why? They're saying that it punctured through the skid plate. No, it punctured, it skidded the hole, but it went into the actual hole there. I mean, the skid plate didn't do its job because there's a stupid hole there. We're gonna fix that shit. It's a crap move. It's a low IQ move by whoever designed that. There was specifically a hole there to look for maintenance for look at the plug, but then why would you risk the safety of your car for ease of maintenance? That's stupid. Just like theory failure. It's not a smart thing. This panel's coming in. Oh, it slides in. Oh, that's convenient. Let's look at the damage. So there's for sure damage. Scraped on the plug. Right there is where the culprit is. Right there. There's where it's leaking out and catching all this. So the rock punctured, smoked half the hole, made it through the rest of the hole, ruined that bolt. Thank heaven that's not a necessary bolt. That's a bolt that kind of goes all the way through into the rest of the motor over here. It's right there. It's nowhere else. So I don't have to see that to know that we don't need that bolt to move ever, and that we can seal that. We're gonna put some cleaner on this, get this grease off, rough this up, the casting up a little bit with some finer grit sandpaper to make it a grippable surface. And we're gonna JB Weld the crap out of this part. Like seriously, you've never seen so much JB Weld in your life. Then we're gonna figure out what to do with that stupid skid plate. I mean, I get why the hole's there, but now that that has happened, I am not in favor of the hole being there, and we're gonna plug that hole up. Whether it's me or somebody else in maintenance, they're just gonna have to pull that skid plate off. I ain't dealing with that again. What's good though is like, I'm not seeing any come out. We're gonna rough around the outside of this. I actually thought about welding more aluminum around that bolt. I think that's not gonna be a great idea. We're instead just gonna rough up this casting, get rid of the anodized whatever that's on the casting that keeps the aluminum all shiny like. Denatured alcohol is a true oil and grease remover. Yeah, there's acetone, yeah, there's like other ones, but they don't work like denatured alcohol. Now, because it's a vertical surface, we're gonna use the Weld stick. It's just temperature resistant. The regular steel stick would still theoretically work, but normally it's supposed to be between 200 and 300 degrees, which is like right at the max of the steel stick. So this is 450 to 500 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 times stronger at higher temps than conventional epoxy putties, including its own steel stick. So this is just gonna be a little better. And you're really only gonna find this at AutoZone. You can't go to Home Depot or Lowe's or anywhere else to find it. Let's take a look at this stupid. This metal shaving is from
not the engine, it's from something else. Inspect what happened here. Definitely gnarled it up. It got through a little bit of that hole. It like got the edge of it. I'm gonna try and clean this up however we can. Now that's tough, just so anybody is wondering. That is thick plastic, and then the fact that it even punctured that is, it's really hard to puncture that plastic. Now I'd have preferred slightly thicker belly skins, but those would have been, plastic is also really, really dense, like the UHMW or HTP. I'm not really sure if this is HTP or UHMW, they're very similar. The UHMW is a lot higher in density. It's naturally trying to form back when I heat it up, so that's good. Almost there. Oh, you're so close. Well, it's a lot better than what it was. The hole's still there. It's serviceable again. There's a big gigantic knot there, but we'll flip it on the other side and hit it again because we only really fixed one side. Okay, so hot news, and you guys are gonna love this. It's not that bolt that we thought was cracked and leaking. There was actually not a leak there, and I wondered after I cleaned it off if there was even a leak there, and I kept seeing some odd stuff. Like, remember there was a puddle there, and I was wondering if it was pulling out the side, so I had to readdress the putty. It's the freaking plug. The plug is leaking. It's not even the spot. Imagine they were gonna try and get me for 10K for a loose plug. That is crazy. I'm not gonna take this back over there for service. I'm just gonna service this whole thing myself. YouTube, right? Can figure out how to drain the oil and drain the transmission. This is the engine. There's the plug. There's transmission. I just gotta ask AI where the freaking, you know, the oil outlet. I'm just gonna watch some videos. Now I'm jaded. I want to just tighten that plug. I'm gonna get a little creative because I don't have a funnel. Okay. Whew. All right. It was about a quart low, guys. Like a whole one of these. All right. Simmer down there for a second and go ahead and drain. So apparently that little bit of fluid on the panel wasn't actually from the plug or that spot, it was from the vents, where sometimes when you put in new fluid and you cycle it through the transmission, you give it the gas. Fluid can initially come out the vents. It's kind of okay at the beginning. If it keeps on happening, then you definitely have too much fluid in there and it's really bad for the clutch packs. All right. I don't see any fluid. I think it's done. I don't feel any on my hands. I don't feel any in the grooves. That is hard as a rock. Yep, that small little bit dripped there. And then no more after that. I mean, I'd have to take the skid plate off again to really look at it, but it looks like the problem is fixed. I mean, I think I'm gonna need some heat blankets for this for sure. I think heat blankets are a necessary evil when it comes to this. 100%. That thing radiates a lot of heat. All right, so it turns out I'm just really unlucky. It was like a perfect storm, combination of a few things. The spring softening, making the ride height way too low, in conjunction with the rock being at the right place at the right time to find its way into that hole and compromise the skid plate and smoke the transmission. All those things had to happen like right at that time. I guess, I don't know, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Whose law is that? Newton's? Somebody's law. But we found a way around it. I will say though that I think those maintenance holes, I don't want to really trash on this car or trash on Can-Am, but those maintenance holes, they're trash. Everybody who does maintenance videos hates those holes. The little funnels you have to stick in there, they're stupid. Like, it still leaks on the skid plate. You still have to drop the skid plate. It's 10 bolts, it's 20 seconds. And I guess some of the techs there are pretty restricted in what they were actually allowed to do. They had to ask me for permission to drop the skid plate. So what's the big deal about the skid plate? It's 10 bolts, 20 seconds. I don't get it. Somebody want to tell me what that is? I don't get it. I can get a lot of things, but I don't get that. I don't. Well, that's just some very rigid and inflexible standard you have for maintenance. It's not good. It's also not great that the holes are right under the most fragile part of the car where you don't need any holes. If anybody has a skid plate with no holes, hit me up in the comments, drop a link. I'll buy that thing today. I'll promote the crap out of it. I will. Because that's really, there's not too many flaws about this car, but that is definitely one. It's very scary, very close call. Things I did do to correct this problem, I immediately got new springs from Shock Therapy, and I actually did it through the mail-in form when they got it like spot on the first time. Like it tries like a completely different car. We're gonna be talking about that kit, and then we'll be talking about some other things. I did change tires. The System 3 RR600 tires, they grip so much better than those XPS Hammer Kings in the desert, like immensely better. I don't even have rock rash on not one rim yet, and I tore it even faster through everything that I normally do. I went even faster through it. So there's a few things. Car handles better, slides better, grips better, and the ride height is fixed. So between all those things, I haven't messed the car up as of yet. Put 500 miles more on it, or 600 miles more on it since all that stuff has happened. So we're gonna put another 800 on it here in an upcoming trip. You guys gotta stay tuned for that. Chad and I are gonna be busting out to do a trip here soon. We'll be filling you guys in on that. Stay tuned.